selling real one Chevy.
Hey everyone, welcome to IJustWatched. It's your boy Joseph, and we're here today to talk Uncharted, the Sony live-action adaptation of the video game series. And before we get into it, I gotta hit you with the usual, which is hopefully you like this video enough to smash that like button, click subscribe to stay tuned to see more of mine and ours. You know who the ours are, shenanigans, as they drop. But that being said, let's jump into it. Let's talk Uncharted. Alright, so right off the bat, I gotta be honest, I very much dislike the cast when it comes to this film, because I really enjoy the video games. The video games is a great fun series. I love the way they play off of, well, the first three jumps into like mythos and legends and supernatural stuff, even in small subtle ways. I super dislike Tom Holland, Nathan Drake. It made no sense to me. He didn't look, he didn't feel, didn't come off as Nathan Drake. Not even a little bit, not even remotely. This movie 100% does what I feel every bad or horrible or failed attempt of turning a video game into a live action movie does. For lack of a better term, says fuck the video game source. Let's just take names of characters and like two or three things or events that happen in it, and we'll do our own story. We'll do our own take. We'll do our whatever. I get it, but at the end of the day, it's like any film or show or adaptation of anything that has source material, books, graphic novels, video games. Maybe you're turning a show into a movie into a show, whatever. But if you have source material, there's a reason that entity has enough backing to be turned into a movie or show or whatever. It's because fans love it, and they don't love it just because the character's name is Drake or Nathan Drake, or you got or you got Sully. They don't like it because like, that's the character's name, treasure hunting. No, there's characteristics, there's situations, there's actual bonds and the way characters interact with each other. I mean, dude, this movie is like 100% skips 1, 2, and 3 and jumps to 4, while still trying to be a prequel that is taking place during 1, 2, and 3. It's dumb as hell. Genuinely dislike this movie. It is bad. It was boring. There was nothing in it that was remotely redeemable. I mean, I like Mark Wahlberg. I think it would have been better to put him as Nathan Drake. And I think originally he was supposed to be Drake, but they say he aged out. I'm like, dude, Nate Drake in the first game is like 30-something. By the fourth game, he's in his 40s. He's not some fucking 18, 20-year-old. In the first game, he's like mid-30s. Fourth game, he's in his 40s. So, I don't understand why Mark Wahlberg aged out and they put him as Sully. But Sully's a fucking... In the first game, the dude's like 50 or 50-something, like mid-50s. Last game, he's like his fucking 60s, almost dead. So I didn't understand that. Tom Holland, I mean, I genuinely thought they were gonna like surprise us and have someone else be like an adult Nathan Drake, or this was gonna be 100% some weird prequel when he was a kid. But then they have another kid who plays young Nate. I'm like, but Tom Holland is young Nate. Like, it just, I didn't like it. The story was whack. They just took bits and pieces of each individual game while trying to set up the fourth, and even with the little after credit scene with his brother, like they literally were all over the place when it came to the video games itself. They didn't stay true to the characters at all. Nathan Drake is some kid who is just going about his life, and then Sully literally comes out of nowhere to recruit him to be a treasure hunter because he knows the connection to his brother, where in the games he was already like into it because of his brother since a young age, and he just never stopped. And then through said adventures met Sully when Sully was younger, and they became partners and friends and blah 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 blah. But I don't know, movie was whack. It was boring. I hella don't recommend it. I don't even know if they got greenlit for another one or whatever, but it was boring as fuck. I didn't like it. I can say a bunch of stuff I didn't like about it, from the versions of the characters they tried to introduce. But my biggest thing at the end of the day was your main two characters, which is Nathan Drake and Victor Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully. Those are your main two characters for this whole franchise. Plus Drake's love interest. But if you take that out of it, just them two alone to carry it. From the beginning of the video games to the very end, it's them. Super poorly done. I felt like there was no genuine chemistry. it felt forced, like they didn't really like each other, or like it just didn't fit the way they were trying to portray these two characters as being friends, or how they grew to be friends, or like I don't know. It didn't work for me personally. If you liked it, let me know why, because maybe you'll. I doubt you convince me, but maybe, because again, those games are dope. The stories in each individual game is crazy, and then there's small pieces of each game that leads to the fourth one, which is the whole finding out of his brother, and like the diving deeper into who both the characters are, and then and why they do what they do and stuff like that. So the fact that they jumped all over the place while trying to do that, but forcing this whole you're young and you're old, like consistent jokes, like it just didn't fit. I didn't like it. It just didn't feel natural. It felt very forced. And this 100% could have been any other film. All you got to take away is the characters' names and the title. And it could have, the only reason this is even close or remotely has anything to do with the video games is because you called it, one, Uncharted, and two, you named the main character Nathan Drake and his partner slash backstabby Victor Sullivan, and his brother Sam. And nah, not for me. Basura, didn't like it. I was hoping for more. I also felt like this would have been an easy one to translate, because it's right there. There's nothing crazy. You know what I mean? It's not like trying to translate God of War or Gears of War or Halo, but that's another conversation. But that being said, what do you feel about video games being turned into film or shows? My biggest thing is use the source material, because I even read, just as a quick tidbit, is that in Halo the series, they said they didn't even watch or play or anything to do with the video game. So I'm like, what? It's like me. I was like, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a game. I'm gonna make a movie based off of Kratos. Keep it Sony. Keep it PlayStation. And I'm just not gonna play the games. I'm not gonna read anything about the games. And you know what? I'm gonna name him Kratos, but I'm gonna make him Japanese, and the gods are gonna be Egyptian. Run it. Like, no, what the fuck? That's how it feels. That's how it feels when it comes to pulling the trigger, not just for this movie, but for most video game based movies. They're just like, we're just gonna take a couple things and then just do whatever the fuck we want. I'm like, no, that's not. Movies that have source material and do this consistently, video game movies, comic book movies, movies based off of books or any source material, when they do that, I personally think that's why they consistently fail. I also think that's one of the reasons they consistently get backlash, or people dislike or hate, even if it's a technically sound movie. All those things, like, well, I don't care about this. Like, I wanted to come see my character come to life, not your version of a character I already love. I think this movie caught just a lot of previous dislike from other source material items. That being said, stay tuned, because Sonic the Hedgehog 2, mwah, that is that right there. But we'll get into that. I want to hear your thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, opinions down below in the comment section. Did you like the movie Uncharted? Do you want more from it? Did you like the games? Do you care at all? Let us know down below. Comments, questions, requests, let me know. But until next time, stay safe, be well, adios.